All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Listen, I'm going to warn you up front. If you don't want to see me be insufferably smug, just tune out right now. Because I'm going all in with the smugness. I'm going all in with bragging. Because you know what? I was absolutely correct on something, and pretty much nobody had the same take as me. I'm talking, of course, about the debate, and now we have polling that's come out, and suffice to say, everything I said during the debate breakdown was correct. So hang on there for that. Hang on there for that. We're going to lead with that in just a second. We also have Trump polls after his mugshot dropped, and oh my God, it's the most devastating polls I've ever seen for the big man. So that's fun. Then we have Fox News jacking off to Trump's mugshots, hilarious clips. We have Chris Christie throwing some haymakers at Vivek after the debate. We have, I'm going to talk about that rich men north of Richmond guy who apparently is the most famous person in the world overnight. I think he's a deeply confused man. And then we have Shapiro versus Tucker and a new bombshell, a huge twist in the Trump case that just dropped the other day. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. Now, during the debate breakdown, I had a lot of takes which were apparently very controversial. Very few people agreed with me on them. But remember, guys, I watched the debate twice. I watched it once to live tweet it and get the general breakdown and gist of it. And then I watched it again because I had to get the clips for our debate breakdown show. And after watching it twice, I had some pretty strong opinions. Now, they appear to be kind of contrarian, but no, I think I was just doing my best to tap into that normie Republican mindset. My controversial take was, look, I think Vivek did great the first half of the debate, but then he got destroyed in the second half of the debate, so I don't really think he won. And I said at the end of the day, the big winners were Ron DeSantis, that one was controversial, and then Nikki Haley, who there actually appeared to be a little bit of a consensus around Haley in particular because, you know, the bar was below the basement for her, and then she just had a bare minimum level of charisma and competence, and so a lot of people said she did really, really well. Now, what I was wrong about is in my pre-debate predictions, I said, I think Chris Christie is going to be one of the top-tier performers, and I think Mike Pence is going to be one of the top-tier performers. Look, that was wrong. That was wrong. I think after now watching it twice, I think they had like a mid-level performance, and as you're going to see in a second, all the polls bear out that they had a mid-level performance. Everything else I was right about. Now, I had quite a bit of fun over the weekend because I saw the guys over at the Vanguard, shout out to the Vanguard, they're an awesome show. They were covering how apparently the Breaking Points comment section was infuriated by my commentary, by my debate breakdown commentary. Now, I didn't go and read it. You guys can go read it if you want to. Honestly, truth be told, I didn't even watch the Vanguard video. I just saw the title about how apparently I infuriated the Breaking Points comment section. Well, I'm going to ask everybody now, based on the polling, which I'm about to show you, who was right? Who was right? Okay, so first let me play for you what my commentary was in the debate breakdown, and then we'll get to the polls. I'll give you my overall breakdown here, and then you can respond to it. So right off the bat, the people who I think did the best, in my opinion, maybe that's a little bit of a different answer than who won the debate if you want to define it as who went up in the polls. But in my opinion, the people who did the best, I actually think Ron DeSantis did the best, and Nikki Haley really surprised me because, I mean, the bar was under the basement for her, in my opinion. She has zero charisma. I thought there's no way. No, it turned out she actually delivered what I thought was a pretty feisty performance, pretty aggressive performance. I think she walked the line well between being a psycho far right-winger and also moderating herself just enough to give herself a prayer if she were to somehow magically get to a general election. The biggest loser is not even a conversation. Asa Hutchinson was asleep. Doug Burgum was asleep. Asa's eye popped in the middle of the debate where it was bloodshot red. Burgum was high as balls on Percocet the entire night because he had just torn his Achilles, and you could kind of tell. Homie whipped out his pocket constitution. He didn't know where he was.
I actually thought the pocket constitution was his best moment.
You thought it was charming?
Well,
kind of charming.
It was just like, yeah.
They're adorable. Look, they're adorable. They lost miserably.
Very 1990s.
They lost miserably, but they are adorable. They're living in 1989, and they think like, if I say I'm principled in favor of small government when asked about abortion, then people will like that.
Yeah, I probably hated them the least of everybody.
Yeah, they're just adorable grandpa. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, they're in way over their heads. Let's be serious. They're in way over. I mean, all these people are, but they're definitely in way over their heads.
Yeah.
So anyway, my full breakdown. Ramaswamy, I think he is going to get a big bump in the polls, so I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, everybody's really high on him right now. I'm not as high on him because he came out really hard and aggressive and did well for the first half of the debate. But then the second half of the debate, I really think that he got put in his place. I really think he fell off hard. I think a lot of the counterattacks in the second half of the debate landed on him. Chris Christie landed a good line on him about ChatGPT that the audience reacted to. I think he lost that Ukraine debate easily. He was booed when he said that the climate change agenda is a hoax. So yes, he got the most attention and there was the most noise around him, and I think he is going to go up in the polls. But I think that's largely fake support. I think all the people who were liking Vivek in that night are actually going to vote for Trump because his whole thing was, I'm going to burrow myself inside Trump's anus. So that's the debate breakdown I gave after the fact. I also said, by the way, on Breaking Points, I think Trump is going to drop maybe 3, 4, 5 points because he wasn't there. And so that support's going to go somewhere else. And it looks like it was actually a touch more than that. So Trump lost 6 points after the debate. DeSantis gained 8. Haley gained 6. And you had Vivek gain 1. Everybody else pretty much cruised and stayed the same or lost just a little bit of ground, like 1 point, if they even had a point to give. But my commentary was DeSantis and Haley did the best. This poll bears out, if from insider polling, after the debate poll, DeSantis and Haley did the best. But I got more. This is an Ipsos Washington Post poll. In this one, DeSantis wins 29%. Then you have Vivek just underneath him at 26%. And then you have Haley at 15%. And then there's a big drop from there. Pence, 7% said they won. Tim Scott and Christie got 4%, and Burgum and Hutchinson got 1%. By the way, Burgum and Hutchinson. That was like the most unanimous political commentary has ever been across the world. Everybody's like, oh, of course, well, Burgum and Hutchinson got destroyed. All right, got more for you here. So this is the change in their net favorability, I should say, among the Republicans who watched the debate. So DeSantis went from plus 41 to plus 47. That's a 6-point gain in his net favorability. Tim Scott lost 5 points. Nikki Haley gained 13 points. So in this one, she's the big winner. Trump lost 7 points. Ramaswamy lost 9 points. That's the thing. It's all over the place for Vivek because he had a great first half of the debate. He had a terrible second half of the debate. I guess it depends when you tuned in or whether or not you like that style of being really smug. And according to some polls, he did pretty well. According to other polls, he got draxed. So that kind of falls in line with what I was thinking. And also, it falls in line with my pre-debate conversation where I said, I think it's going to be like feast or famine for Vivek. And it turns out it was both feast and famine for Vivek. You have Pence, who gained 7 points in this poll, and Christie also in this poll, who gained 13 points. This is, let's be clear, this is the best that Christie has done, I think, in any of the polls. This is like one poll that shows him kind of sort of tying as a win in the debate with Nikki Haley. That's more in line with my pre-debate prediction, but I don't think most of the polls do not bear out this. I think his performance was relatively mid overall. Then we have who won the Republican debate here. This one has Nikki Haley number 1, 23%. Ron DeSantis number 2, 22%. Then you have Pence 12%, Christie 9%, Vivek 9%, Burgum 5%, Scott 3%, Hutchinson 0%. Oh, that hurts. By the way, shout out to the 5% who said Burgum won the debate. That's got to all be North Dakota. Actually, I don't know if you can get that many people in North Dakota to get to 5%. So it's like probably North Dakota and South Dakota. Now, look, man, why did I think he won? The bottom line is, as everybody else was sniping with each other and like getting really personal and being really obnoxious, DeSantis played the role of like, he didn't get a glove laid on him. He wasn't hit at all. But also he did the whole like above the fray thing. Like, why are we talking about all these things? We should be talking about Joe Biden and how big of a disaster he is. And let me tell you how we're going to win and what I'm going to do. He played the role of like, while everybody else is being petty and sniping at each other, he did the whole above the fray thing. But while being above the fray, he also was strong when he came in. Like, he came in strong, made his arguments, and got out of Dodge. And so, you mix that all together, and most of the polls are showing he probably is the most clear winner. Now, this last one, look, you could take this one with a grain of salt because this is from a pro-DeSantis PAC that commissioned this poll. It's from PO Strategies. Public Opinion Strategies is the polling company. So pre-debate, according to this poll, DeSantis had 14%. Now it's 21%. Donald Trump dropped 1 point in this poll from 42 to 41. Nikki Haley, huge rise here from 3% to 11%. Tim Scott went down 1 point from 8% to 7%. Vivek went down 3 points in this poll from 10% to 7%. Then you have Penn State exactly the same, and Christie in this poll lost 2 percentage points. So look, these are all the polls that I've seen. I actually think there's one more that just came out this morning that had Vivek winning. It's really interesting. The Vivek polls really are all over the place. Some say he did really well. Some say he did horribly. Overall, I would categorize his performance as mid because if you watch the first half of the debate, you think he freaked it. If you watch the second half of the debate, you think he got obliterated. So I'd say he had a mid performance. But look, I'm going to say it again. I always find it funny. Like, when I give my commentary on the debate breakdown, I'm just trying to be as clear as possible and explain exactly how I saw it. And the fact that that made anybody, like, really triggered is hilarious to me. Because now, in retrospect, looks like I was pretty much right on everything. And by the way, is anybody going to come out and say, anybody who was dogpiling on me, apparently, for what I was saying, are any of them going to be like, all right, you know what, he was right and I was wrong. All right, he got it. The numbers are the numbers. The polls are the polls. Is anybody going to do that? Absolutely not. We all know that's not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. And I will say, I'll pat myself on the back a little bit, that this whole segment is just me patting myself on the back, by the way. But Crystal said after all the polls rolled in, she goes, "Oh, looks like you were right about DeSantis." And I'm like, I did the Michael Jordan shrug after he hit all those threes. Like, so it's going to be extra sweet, too, when she says that on Breaking Points today. I'm going to watch the shit out of that segment. And I bet Sagar's going to admit it, too. But at the same time, even though they'll admit it, I still think the audience will probably be like, boo, 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 get this lib cook, resistance liberal out of here. Boo, boo, he's wrong about everything, even though he's right about everything. Boo, boo. Piss off. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.